Quitting a match in FC26 will now get you banned. Yes, seriously. Alright, here's something that's definitely going to split the community, maybe even start a war in the comments. In FC26, quitting a match could get you banned from matchmaking, not permanently banned obviously, but EA is introducing a time penalty around 15 minutes for players who leave games early. And it doesn't just apply to feudy champs or rivals, we're talking casual online matches too. If you dip mid-game, you're locked out from playing again until that timer runs out. Now on paper, I get it. It's a system that games like Valorant and Apex have used for years. The idea is simple. If you want cleaner matches and less rage quitting, you have to make quitting hurt. Force people to finish what they start, win or lose. And sure, in theory, that could help. Nobody likes it when your opponent disconnects in the 30th minute because you scored 2 quick goals. It ruins the rhythm, it kills the experience. But let's not pretend this is that simple. Because what happens when your internet drops? What if EA's own servers kick you out? Which, by the way, happens a lot. What if you lag so badly you can't even move? And now you're stuck watching your opponent dance in your box for 15 minutes? EA hasn't clarified any of that yet. And until they do, this new Antiquit Penalty feels more like a blunt weapon than a fair system. If it's handled properly, it might clean up gameplay and reduce toxicity. But if they get this wrong, and let's be honest, it's EA, there's a solid chance they will, then all they've done is punish honest players for problems beyond their control. So yeah, quitting a match now has real consequences. But whether that improves the game or just creates new frustration, we'll have to wait and see. Foot Champs playoffs are gone in FC26 and everything just changed. This one's going to hit differently for anyone who spent weekends sweating through qualifiers. Foot Champs playoffs are officially gone in FC26. No more separate grind, no more trying to squeeze in 7 wins before the timer runs out. That whole midweek qualification phase completely scrapped. EA's changed the structure and it's actually pretty drastic. Here's how it works now. You hit 1000 points in division rivals and then all you need is 1 win. That's it. 1 single win and you're straight into the weekend league just like that. Now on the surface, this seems like a W. It removes one of the most annoying gatekeeping steps from the process. You don't have to sit through that mini tournament sweating every match just to earn your ticket. It's quicker, it's cleaner, it's more accessible, and for casuals, this probably feels like a gift. But here's the catch, and anyone who plays champs seriously knows what I'm about to say. More accessibility means more chaos. This move opens the door to a lot more casual players entering champs. And while that might make early rounds easier for some, it also shifts the balance. You're going to see weirder matchups, more inconsistency in difficulty, and possibly even an inflated pool of weekend league participants. Depending on your skill level, this either makes champs more forgiving or more frustrating. Because when everyone is in the mix, from elite grinders to people who just scraped their 1 win, the competitive rhythm of champs might feel completely off. So yeah, the grind's been simplified, but don't think that means it's going to be easier. It's just different now. Less structure, more unpredictability, and for better or worse, FC26 just changed the way we qualify for the sweatiest mode in the game. In FC26, Weekend League is getting split up by divisions. Instead of one big sweaty melting pot where everyone, from casuals to elite level monsters here, gets thrown into the same brutal mix, EA is now dividing champs into 2 brackets. If you're in Division 5 or lower, you'll play in a separate champs pool. If you're in Division 4 and above, you get matched with the more competitive crowd. And honestly, this might be one of the smartest things EA has done in years. Because let's be real, the current system punishes anyone who isn't grinding daily. If you're not a top tier player with meta squads and mechanics drilled into your muscle memory, Weekend League becomes a war zone. You qualify and then spend 3 to 4 games just trying not to rage quit before halftime. So now, with division-based brackets, you actually stand a chance against players around your level. It doesn't guarantee balance, and let's be honest, people will still smurf, squads will still be cracked, but it's a step towards sanity. It's finally acknowledging that not every player lives in elite division 24/7. On top of that, there's talk of a casual FUT Champs system in testing. Softer matchmaking, more forgiving rewards, maybe even lower pressure across fewer matches. That right there, that's not just accessibility, it's player retention strategy. EA knows the Sweatfest has driven a lot of players away over the last few years. They've seen the complaints, they've seen the burnout, and this time, they're actually doing something about it. So yeah, Weekend League in FC26, it won't be one size fits all anymore. And whether you're Div 10 or Elite Rank 1, that's going to affect how you approach champs and how long you stick around. Talk about one of the quietest letdowns in FC26 because no one's really mentioning it, but the players who care, they feel it. Draft mode is staying exactly the same. No new rules, no new structure, no creative twists, nothing. Everything we've seen so far suggests that draft in FC26 is just a copy-paste of last year. Same picks, same reward tiers, same outdated format. And that's honestly disappointing because draft isn't just some throwaway mode. It could be one of the best parts of Ultimate Team. It's one of the few modes where you get to use high-end cards without sweating through menus or spending weeks trading. You build a squad, jump into matches, and it's all about quick competition. But the mode has barely evolved since it launched. It's like EA doesn't know what to do with it. So they just leave it there, untouched, every single year. No fresh content rotations, no experimental rules, no limited time versions. It just sits there. A relic of what could have been a core experience in UT. And that hurts, especially for the long-time players who remember how fun draft used to feel when it was new. When it was actually exciting to build a team and dive into matches with random icons and chemistry chaos. So yeah, maybe it's not the biggest feature. Maybe it won't trend on social media. But when you're promising innovation in FC26 and then leaving draft in the same outdated shell, it just proves EA still doesn't get what their own community actually wants. Pack animation update in FC26. Alright, let's talk about pack openings. Because if you are hoping for a complete refresh this year, you're gonna want to lower those expectations. Early leaks are already out, and here's what we know. The tunnel animation is back. Yep, same corridor, same slow walkout tease, same is it a board or a walkout confusion. The only actual change? A new camera angle. Now to be fair, it's a minor improvement. Apparently, the camera now reveals the player's position first, then shows the nationality flag. So if you're really dialed in, you might figure out who you packed a few milliseconds earlier than before. And sure, that might make it slightly easier to spot walkouts. It might clean up the pacing a bit, but let's be honest, this isn't the overhaul people have been asking for. Pack openings have become one of the most repetitive experiences in Ultimate Team. They used to be fun, they used to be exciting, but now it's just the same tunnel, the same doors opening, the same recycled sound effects over and over again. People were hoping for a real shakeup, a new theme, a new environment. Maybe something dynamic that reacts to the type of player you pull. Something that doesn't make opening a 125,000 pack feel the exact same as a bronze preview pack. But instead, we got a slightly different camera angle in the exact same hallway. So yeah, technically, the animation is updated. Knockout tournaments are making a comeback in FC26. Finally, now this is the kind of update we've been waiting for. Knockout tournaments are officially returning in FC26, and for a lot of long-time Ultimate Team players, this feels like a proper throwback. But with a modern twist. Here's what we know so far. EA is introducing weekly tournament modes within Ultimate Team. No, not just recycled objectives or glorified friendlies. I'm talking about actual knockout-style competitions. You enter, you win, you move on, you lose, you're out. Simple as that. It's that classic tension. Every match matters, and it's making a comeback in the right way. But here's where it gets interesting. The tournaments will come with unique entry conditions. So you might need to build a full silver squad or a team made up of only English players or something completely out of the meta. And honestly, that's what makes it fun. We've been stuck in the same gameplay loops for years. Division rivals on repeat, champs every weekend, and the occasional objective grind that feels more like admin work than actual football. But with these themed knockout tournaments, EA is finally giving players a reason to build weird squads again, to try new cards, to experiment. And it's not just for fun. The rewards are looking solid too. We're talking special cards, coin bonuses, maybe even exclusive cosmetics or limited SBC fodder. If they deliver on that side of things, this could be one of the most refreshing additions to UT in a long time. So yeah, this one's a legit W. A proper way to test your team building skills, step outside the meta, and actually enjoy the game without sweating through 20 rivals matches a week. Knockout tournaments are back. And if EA plays this right, they might become the new fan favorite grind. EA lost $6 billion from FC25. Now they're promising a revolution in FC26. Let's talk about just how badly FC25 went for EA. Because this wasn't just another underwhelming release. This was a full-scale financial disaster. According to multiple reports, EA lost over $6 billion in company value after FC25's release. Not million, billion with a B. That's not just a stumble, that's one of the most brutal franchise hits in their entire history. And now they're feeling the pressure hard. Behind closed doors, EA executives have already had internal meetings, and from what's been leaked, they've described FC26 as a revolution. That's the word they're using. They're not positioning this as an annual update or a slight course correction. They're claiming it's a complete reset, one that focuses heavily on aggressive player retention and rebuilding community trust. Which tells you everything really. They know exactly how far they've fallen. They know the player base is frustrated. They see the numbers dropping in playtime, in purchases, in engagement, and they understand this might be their last real shot to prove that they're still capable of making a football game people want to play. They're throwing around phrases like extraordinary experience and talking about reimagining what FC can be. But let's be honest, no one's clinging to the promises anymore. Not after FC25, not after years of buzzwords that led to recycled content, broken gameplay, and a loop designed more for microtransactions than football. So right now, it's not about what EA says. It's not about their trailers or taglines or behind the scenes interviews. It's about what actually ships, what launches, what works. Because this time, if they don't deliver, there's no hiding behind licensing or esports or content schedules. This is the one. And the entire future of EA Sports FC might just depend on how FC26 lands.